Jiangshi Chapter 3, Tomb of the Thousand Kings. Chayun, Jiahu, and Julie. Pronunciation not there yet. The three new Daoshi are on their next mission, and they get tasked to guard the Tomb of the Thousand Kings, Qianwangmu, apparently. There are two towers in their village, Jushin Hall and Qianwangmu, which is the Tomb of the Thousand Kings, which is where we are. The other one's a residence of Jiushan Xianu, the Jianzhang symbol of Shenzhen village. So that's one tower. But the one they're guarding holds all the Jiangshi that they have, the Daoshi over the years have subdued. These coffins, sarcophaguses, sarcophagi? I don't know. How do you, but like here, yeah. And each floor it's like a higher and higher level of power type Jiangshi. The lowest floor is the home to first order Jiangshi. Each additional floor houses more powerful and higher order Jiangshi. And I guess what they're basically saying is above a certain power level, Jiangshi can't be destroyed. They can only be kept like this. Over time, they created an era of peace because they removed the Jiangshi from the world, basically, effectively. But they're not supposed to go above the third floor. It's interesting. They're tasked with guarding the first two floors until morning. But he also says don't go above the third floor. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but regardless, that's the basic story. This is where the Jiangshi are kept. Each floor is at higher level of power, and they're only guarding the first two floors. And apparently it takes the same amount of power to unseal these things as it does to seal them, so there's no real threat, apparently, of waking any of these things up unintentionally. And in some cases, the more powerful ones, they wouldn't even be able to do it. So they get left alone to guard the temple, and they go up to the next floor, the second floor, to check out what's up there, and they're just bigger coffins, basically. These guys. But sure enough, there's an empty coffin. And there's the lights get blown out, and there's a Jiangshi on the loose, and it's a second order Jiangshi because they're on the second floor. And they try to deal with him, but he's a little bit more powerful than what they're used to. Xiao Hu actually gets wounded, so they have to make a decision because they're the Daoshi that's kind of guiding them on their first missions left them alone and told them to let him know if there's trouble immediately. But they decide at the end of the chapter here, Xiao Hu does anyway, that he has a plan. They're not apprentices anymore. They're going to handle it on their own. And that's the end of the chapter. So it's it's actually a slightly shorter chapter. Not a whole lot happens. There's a lot of really cool backstory in this chapter, which I actually enjoyed that part of it. So I don't know what's coming. It's interesting enough that I'm going to keep reading it, and the art's still good, but it's a very short on plot and large on info, lore dumping, which I liked the background on the towers and why, and the different level of Jiangshi and the different level of Daoshi and their involvement in this, and it does a good job of explaining why this tower is important to guard. And it also sets up the potential of if somehow all of these things did wake up at some point, there would be a huge problem. Potentially world level, existence level problem if all of those things woke up at the same time somehow, which is apparently impossible, but anyway, that's it for Jiangshi X Chapter 3. See you next week here. Bye.